Matugani is the headlining roller coaster at Lost Island theme park. This is a hydraulic launch coaster from Intamin. These rides are most well known for powerful launches, but Matugani offers a more complete and diverse layout than other installations. Does that make it better? Find out in this review. This coaster started its life overseas. It opened in 2005 as Kanonen at Liseberg. The park wanted a new coaster with inversions, and they opted for Intamin after the positive reception of 2003's Balder. The ride interestingly was designed with a hydraulic launch. This propulsion method is more common on rides that needed to achieve higher speeds. Kanonen operated at Liseberg through the 2016 season. Since the park is landlocked, they often need to remove attractions to add something new. The park decided that Kanonen was redundant. Liseberg added Helix in 2014. This was a massive mock multi-launch coaster that has been the park's signature attraction ever since. Wanting to diversify their offerings, the park retired Kanonen and replaced it with a coaster focusing on the drop. That would be none other than the B&M dive coaster named Valkyria. Kanonen was listed for sale, and in 2018, it mysteriously was bought by the Lost Island Water Park in Iowa. This had enthusiasts scratching their head, but it was an early indicator that a new theme park was on the horizon. In 2019, Lost Island Theme Park was announced. The park opened in 2022, but supply chain issues delayed Matugani's new brake motor. The coaster was not ready until the 2023 season, which was a big contributor to the park's low attendance opening year. The coaster was placed in the Yuta, or Earth section of the park. Kanonen originally had blue track and white supports, but both were smartly painted bright green. This really pops on a sunny day, and it better ties into the earthy area. Matugani also has a great looking station. The exterior is designed to look like a snake temple. There's nice brickwork, and the initial launch shoots through an oversized snake's mouth. The interior is fairly plain though, as is the rest of the Q-Line layout. But that's fine because the layout stands on its own. The ride also has a cool looking snake logo, unless you're Kings Island because the logo looks suspiciously like that of Diamondback. While Lost Island's attendance has been up in 2023 and 2024 relative to the inaugural year, crowds are still fairly light most days. Typically, this coaster has been a walk-on. The queue starts with a massive set of switchbacks that I doubt have ever been used. The end of the queue offers nice views of the layout, but had barely any shade. For most people, that has not been a problem. But I have visited one of the park's busier days thus far, and it had a consistent 20 to 30 minute wait. So we were absolutely baking. And there unfortunately was a woman who passed out towards the end of the day. When you reach the station, you are free to select any row you'd like. I thought it was better in the back, but I enjoyed my rides in any row. Each train holds a max of 16 riders. There are 4 cars, each with 2 rows of 2. The park has 2 trains, but they only operate one at a time due to the usual crowd levels, which is understandable. Also contributing to the wait we had during our visit, the train the ride was running with had one of the cars unavailable. Dispatches were on the slower side as well. The restraints were a contributing factor, as they required a lot of strength to raise and lower. Many guests could not do it on their own. Matugani has over-the-shoulder restraints, causing a shockingly high 56-inch height requirement. You have a thick bar over your lap and soft shoulder straps. The coaster as a whole tracks very smoothly, but there are some snappy transitions with laterals, so the soft straps prevent any painful neck chopping. The restraints are similar to that of Storm Runner at Hershey Park or Maverick at Cedar Point. Once checked, you move forward slightly onto the catch car, and then are pulled backwards. You take off directly from the station. There is no official countdown by the ride itself, but you may get one from the employees. But more often than not, they will probably give you a fake countdown or give you a joke. I honestly loved the crew working this ride. The launch itself is decent. You accelerate to 47 miles per hour or 76 kilometers per hour in just 2 seconds. It does not have the same gut punch as the larger accelerator coasters, but it has a stronger initial yank than a magnetic launch. Matugani's launch does noticeably cut out towards the end, similar to Speed Monster or Tussenfried if you've ridden that one. After the launch, there's a 79-foot or 24-meter tall top hat. This offers a nice view of the park at the apex, and it's forceful too. Everyone gets a solid ejector pop over the top. Then the twist offers good laterals. I particularly like this element in the back because the airtime and laterals kick in simultaneously on the descent. You then have what appears to be a normal bunny hill. Everyone gets a good burst of ejector airtime over the top, but the descent rapidly twists left. This results in a nice lateral kink. This again is best in the back because the negative G's and laterals occur together. Next is the first of two inversions, a super circular vertical loop. The train slows down considerably at the top, resulting in hang time. It's a bit delayed up front, but solid. It is more plentiful in the rear rows. Then comes a small S-hill. Everyone gets another great lateral kink. You are really snapped sideways. And if you're in the back, you'll also get a good, albeit brief ejector pop. This seamlessly transitions into a low turn. This was the best spot for positive Gs, as I started to gray out on several rides. Up until this point, the ride has been action-packed with no moment to catch your breath. Then comes the one element on the ride that is a dud. There's this bunny hill. It looks like it should offer airtime, but it doesn't. Immediately afterwards, there is an awesome head chopper at least as you duck underneath the second hill. Then you twist upwards and navigate an elongated inline twist. This is delightfully slow, and that plays to its advantage. It offers oodles of hang time. It also is another great head chopper, as it pierces through the loop and comes darn close to that track. You then twist left into the brakes and slowly return to the station. Now if you have glasses, watch out. When the restraints come up, there is not much clearance with your ears, so they will try to remove them. I sort of twist my head sideways to avoid this. Matugani has 1,444 feet, or 440 meters of track. Now that's not a lot of track, but the coaster feels satisfying because it packs in a good amount of elements, both in terms of quantity and variety. And the ride has really good pacing too. The ride feels way faster than its posted speed, the elements mostly deliver, and the transitions in between are engaging. Finally, I want to talk about this ride's reliability. Hydraulic launches are notoriously finicky due to all their moving parts. Matugani was fairly reliable last year from what I heard, but it has had some downtime over the past few weeks. I know of at least 2 instances where it has been closed all day. For others, including myself, the ride opened very late in the day. Most parks with an accelerator coaster have larger lineups, so they can better compensate for the downtime. If Matugani is down, the next best coaster is the Vekoma SLC. So if Matugani is the primary reason for your visit, I would recommend calling them in advance to confirm its availability. So what would I rate Matugani? I would give this coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a good ride. The hydraulic launch has a nice yank to it. Then the layout reminds me of a mini Copperhead Strike. There are 2 inversions with great hang time. There are hills offering airtime pops and laterals simultaneously, and the transitions work well between the forces and visuals. I am thankful this coaster was saved, and it's unequivocally the park's best coaster at this time. While I would take the launch of most other accelerator coasters, this one has a more complete layout than most. So those are my thoughts on Matugani, the fun launch coaster at Lost Island Theme Park. Have you ridden this coaster at either location? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.